हेलो एवरीवन। इस वीडियो में हम क्लास 10th फूड विदाउट फीड का चैप्टर 6 रीड करेंगे जिसका नाम है द मेकिंग ऑफ अ साइंटिस्ट। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। At the age of 22, a farmer Sweater of the Year excited the scientific world with a new theory on how cells work. Richard the H. Ebright and his college roommate explained the theory in the article in the Proceeding of the National Academy of Science. It was the first time this important scientist journal had never published the work of the college student in sports that would be like making a big leagues at the age of 15 and hunting a home run. You first time at bat from Richard's Ebert. It was the first in a long streak of achievement in science and other field, and it all started with butterflies. An only child, Ebert grew up north of Reading, Pennsylvania. There was not much I could do there. He said, I certainly could not play football or baseball with a team of one, but there was one thing I could do: collect things. So he did, and did he ever? Beginning in uh, kind Kindreton Ebert collect butterflies with the same determination that has marked all his activities. He also collect rocks, foliage and coins. He became an eager astronomer to something stargazing all night. From the first, he had a driving curiosity along with a bright mind. He also had a mother who encouraged his interest in learning. She took him on trips, bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, mountain materials, and other equipment, and helped him in many other ways. I was in only company until he started school. His mother said after that I would bring home friends for him. But at night we just did a thing together. Rachel was my whole life after his father died when Richie was in third grade. She she and her son spent almost every evening at the dining room table. If we did not have things to do, I found work from him. Not physical work, but learning things. His mother said he liked it. He wanted to learn, and learn he did. He earned top grades in school on every day. Think he was just like every kids. His mother said, but the time he was in the second grade, Ebert had collected all 25 species of butterfly found around his hometown. The probably would have been the end of the butterfly collecting, he said, but then my mother got me a children's book called The Travels of Moritz X, the book which told how Moritz butterfly migrated to Central America opened the world of science to the eager young collector. All the end of the book, readers were invited to help study butterfly migration. They were asked to tag butterflies for research by Dr. Frederick uh, Uhart of the University of Toronto, Canada. Ebert's mother wrote to Dr. and Urut, and soon Ebert was attaching light advice tags to the wings of Morris, and anyone who found a tagged butterfly was asked to send the tag of Dr. Urect heart. The butterfly collecting reason around reading last 6 weeks in the last late summer. If you are going to chase them one by one, you would not catch very many. So the next step to Ebert was to raise a flock of butterflies. He would catch a female morange, take her eggs and raise them in the basement through their life cycle from eggs to carpulator to pupa and adult butterfly. Then he would tag the butterfly's wings and let them go. For several years, his basement was home to thousands of moranges in different stages of development. Eventually, I began to lose interest in tagging butterflies. It's reduced and they are not much feedback. Ebert said, "In all the time I did it," he laughed. "Only two butterflies I had tagged very were recaptured, and they were not more than 75 miles from where I lived." Then, in the 70s grades, he got a hint of what really science is. When he entered a 20 science of fair and lost, it was really a sad feeling of sit there and not get anything while everybody else had won something. Ebert said his entry was slide of frog tissues which he showed under a microscope. He realized the winners had tried to do real experiment, not simply make a neat display. Already the competitive spirit that drivers Richard's Ebert was appearing. I knew that for the next year's fair I would have to do a really experiment. She said. He said that subject I knew most about the insect work I had been doing in the past several years. So he wrote a Dr. Eukarme for ideas, and back came a stack of suggestions for experiment. Those kept Ebert busy all through high school and led to prize project in a country and international science fair. For his 8th grade project, Ebert tried to find the cause of a viral disease that kills nearly all morts categorized every few years. Ebert, Ebert thought the diseases might be carried by a beetle. He tried raising caterpillars in the presence of beetles. I did not get any real results, he said. But I went ahead and showed that I had tried the experiment. This time I won. The next year, the science fair project was testing the theory that Vessi butterflies copy merchants, and theory was that viruses look like merchants because merchants did not taste good to birds, whereas on the other hand, to do taste good to birds. So the more they look like morals, the less likely they are became a bird dinner. Ebert's project was to see whether, in fact, birds would eat morels. He found that a startling would not eat ordinary birds' food. I would eat all the morels if I could get. This project was placed first in the Zuli division and third overall in the country science fair. In the second year in high school, Richard's effort being the search research that lead was to discovery of an unknown insect. Immediately, indirectly, it also led to his new theory on the fair life of cells. The question he tried to answer was simple: what is the purpose of the 12 tiny gold spots on the orange pupa. Everyone assumed the spots were just ornamental Ebert said, but the doctor Yunharto did not believe it. To find the answer, Ebert and another excellent science student first had to build a device that showed that the spots were producing a hormone necessary for the butterfly full development. This project won Ebert first place in the country fair, the enter into international science and uh, 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 science and in engineering fair. There he won third place. For Julie, he also got a chance to work during the summer at the entomology laboratory of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research as a high school junior. Richard Ebert continued his advanced experiment on the orange pupa that year. His project won first place at the International Science Fair and gave him another chance to work in the Army laboratory during the summer in his senior year. He went a step further. He grew cells from a morin's wings in a culture and showed that the cells would divide and develop into normal butterfly wings scales only if they were fed the hormone from the gold sport. That project won first place for the Zuli and the international fair. He spent the summer after graduation doing further work at the Army laboratory and at the laboratory for the US Department of Agriculture. The following summer, after his freshman year at Harvard University, Abbott went back to the laboratory and the Department of Agriculture and did more work on the hormone from the gold spots using the laboratory hospitality instrument. He was able to define that hormone's chemical structure. A year and a half later, during his junior year, Abbott got the idea for a new theory about cell life. It came while he was looking at X-ray photos of the chemical structure of the hormone. When he saw those photos, but I did not shout Iraq on even I have got it, but he believed that along with his findings about insect hormones, the photos gave him the answer to one of biology puzzles: how the cell can read the blueprint of its DNA. DNA is the substance in the nucleus of the cell that controls artificially determines from the function of the cell. Thus, DNA is the blueprint of life. Albert and his college roommate James are wrong worked all that night drawing pictures and construction plastic models of molecules to show how it could happen together. They later wrote the paper that explained the theory. Surprising no one who knew him, Richard Ebert graduated from Harvard with the highest honors, second in the class of the 1510. Ebert went on to become a graduate student researcher at Harvard Medical School. There he being doing experiment to the test is the theory. If the theory proved correct, it will be a being step towards understanding the process of life. The might also led to new ideas for preventing some types of cancer and through diseases. All of these is possible because the Herbert scientist Presley. His high school research into a proposal of the spot of the Mauritius pupa in eventually led him due to his theory about cell's life. Richard Abbott has been interested in science since he first began collecting butterflies, but not so deeply that he has not time for other interesting. Abbott also became a champion butter and public speaker and a good consent and all around outdoors person. He is also an expert photographer, particularly for nature and scientist habits. In high school, Richard Abbott was a straight a student because learning was easy. He turned a lot in his energy towards the debating and models united unted nations clubs. He also found someone to admire. Richard's a where his social studies teacher and advisor to both clubs, Mr. Weirs, and the perfect person for me. Then he opened my mind to new ideas. Abbott said. Richard would always give the extra effort. Mr. Weather said what pleased me was here was this person who put in 3 or 4 hours at a night doing debate research beside doing all this research with butterflies and uh, his other interest. Richard was competitive, were contained, but not in a bad sense. He explained Richard was not interested in winning for a winning shake or winning to get a prize. Rather, he was winning because he wanted to do the best job he could. For a right reason, he wants to be the best, and he that is one of the ingredient in the making of the scientist starts with a first-rate mind and closely and mix in the will to win for the right reason. Ebert has these qualities from the time the books The Travel of Morris X opened the world of science to him. Richard Abbott has never lost his scientific curiosity. Thank you.